Welcome to Global Insiders Podcast. I am Ryan, the peripatetic one, bringing you information about opportunities relating to jobs, traveling, and any information that can elevate you to your rightful place in this thing called life. You can find more information and how-to methods on globalinsidersgroup.com. That is insiders with an S. And here is today's show. Good morning, insiders. Today's topic is what it's really like to study in the United States as a nurse, as an international student. Nursing is a growing field. It currently has 2,955,000 workers in this field, and there will be a 15% growth in this area at least until 2026. These are not my statistics, but statistics from the Bureau of Labor. This is the time to become a nurse if you ever wanted to be a nurse. And today we have someone who studied in the States and knows the field, and she will be doing the talking from here on in. So, good morning to our special guest, Nikisha. Hello, Nikisha.
Hi, good morning, Ryan. Good morning, insiders.
Yes, so Nikisha, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself regarding school and studying in the States?
Well, to start, I decided to go.
Yes.
Nursing is a second career for me. It's a second degree. I did a late switch from international relations, where I got a bachelor's at the University of West Indies in Jamaica. And I decided to pursue a second career in nursing because I wanted something that is more rewarding, more fulfilling for life, and of course, better pay as well in terms of more reward for my work.
Fantastic.
Not just emotionally.
So that must have been a very difficult switch, moving from one era, which from what I'm hearing, it wasn't even a science era, really. It was international relations, right? So that must have been a big switch.
Correct.
Yes.
It's a big switch. I had to reformulate how I studied, things that helped me to study, getting used to mnemonics, like knowing the different parts of the human body and the different systems, like the gastrointestinal system, the cardiovascular system, which is the heart system, the renal system, like the kidneys, the liver, and all that stuff. So it was a different approach on a different method that I had to adjust. It was definitely something new, but it was exciting. And the thing is, it's so much to learn. It was quite a challenge, but I love challenges. It's a really great experience and a great field to be in.
Did it take you a long time to get your footing in the field? In that studying?
In my field?
Yes, studying nursing.
No.
Okay.
No, it took me...
So I'm figuring more or less that during your high school years, you did some sort of science. You did science subject.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So I guess.
Correct. Yes, I.
So you weren't starting from scratch then. Cool. So that's good.
No. I did biology, chemistry.
Okay.
And biology, chemistry, and that's pretty much it.
Oh,
that's at the 6E level.
So at heart, you're really a science student.
I'm kind of an all-rounder, if you call it that way.
Fantastic. Well, I'm liking that. And were you a full-time student or a part-time student?
Full-time student, and I studied at Georgia State University in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's currently where I am right now.
Okay, fantastic. And how long does it take to complete your studies? Like if you're doing full-time?
Well, the school offers 2 tracks. You have the fast-paced track, which allows you to complete and it's a bachelor's degree. And I will recommend a bachelor's degree because every nurse that has an associate right now is switching over to a bridge program. So they're upgrading themselves to bachelor's because it's now becoming the standard that they're requiring nurses to have a bachelor's degree here in the United States. So there are 2 programs, as I was saying before. Fast track, which is called the accelerated track A students, and you have the traditional, which is the traditional 4-year degree. ACE is in 2 years. So you basically have your fall your spring and your summer semesters back to back. So if you can go that route, I will recommend it, but I could not because I had to work and go to school full time, and
Oh wow, you
I
had to
just
work?
knew that was too much. Oh, definitely. As an international student, it's not cheap.
Okay, okay. So wow. So how did you manage to do that? That sounds like a lot of work right there.
Yes, it is, but if you want it, you'll achieve it. I had a very good support system in terms of my other half when I was here,
Okay, fine.
and he helped out a lot. But I also worked like pulling my tuition with jobs such as the university provided ways that you could find job on campus, but for international students, it's limited.
Okay.
So for a year, it was a very, what I said, not much, because what I did was started out as working as a customer rep over the phone
Yes.
at home, where you have certain companies, you have quite a few of them now that offers contracts, and you can set up with a company where you can work from home as long as you are able to use a computer, have a good customer service base, which I did coming from the tourism industry.
Okay, fine.
And that job helped me. And then I went through the university to make contacts, went to career fairs, job fairs, internships, and all that. And then I got something with Apple.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. So basically, persons who are applying for to become an international student, they should try to use the skills from what they had before. So
Yes, I definitely would recommend that.
try to get those skills and don't forget about them, don't throw them away, but think about ways in which they can use them to further their education and to get employment in the States. Okay, that sounds good. Now, regarding getting the visa, that must have been a bit hectic because, as you know, especially with all the changes in the States now, sometimes it can be problematic to get visas. So how was that experience? Was it difficult? Did you have to do a lot of, did you have to get a lot of documents to do it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'd say the first thing you want to do is research. And I cannot say that enough. Know and research and planning. Know what you're going after, what school you want to go to, and what are the requirements for the school. The first thing that you want to do is look at the state that you want to go to, and then look at the top schools in nursing in that state. For me, it was two choices. It was between Georgia State University and Emory. Emory's private, so even being an international student, it was way more than Georgia State. And I decided that I will go with Georgia State because of it's definitely ranked high in terms of the nursing school, good rep. The students came out having, the nursing students always coming out having a job, even though nurses anywhere at that time coming out from school is guaranteed a job, because I actually got a job before I even passed my boards,
wow.
which gave me my registered nurse license.
So you got a job, you got a job before you finished school?
Before I graduated,
Wow.
like a couple months before I
Wow,
graduated,
that is
yeah.
awesome. That
So
is
you
awesome.
can have, yeah. And the good thing is that a lot of the hospitals would hire you as a caretaker, a patient caretaker, what we call a PCT here, a patient caretaker. If you get one of those jobs, you basically get your foot in the door.
Okay.
So if you get a patient caretaker job, you'll be able to garner those skills that will help you later on in nursing. Trust me, I did not go that route for personal reasons and other reasons, but I would definitely recommend that because it gives you a foot in the door to the hospital that you want to work with or any hospital that you want to work in, and it gives you that hospital experience, especially if you're switching from something that's non-medical or non-nursing to nursing that's completely different.
Oh.
And yes, definitely the visa application process is a long one, but you have to stick with it and go through it. Just research on the site.
When you say long, how long?
Go ahead.
How long?
It took like 6 to 8 months.
Oh, 6 to 8 months. Okay.
Yeah, because one, just not the application itself. The application itself is easy for you to have that money up front. I cannot remember what the fees are, but I think it was close to maybe 150 US for the application
Not
at the
really
time.
that bad. I mean, it's expensive, but not that bad.
Not really that bad. I'm not sure if that is the cost now because it's been like, 5 years, 6 years. So it may have gone up a bit. But you want to make sure that you research a school. You want to make sure that you get into that school first. First, you apply to the school that you want to get into in the States. And they will also help you because most universities have an international student department that will help you through that process. They'll guide you through the paperwork and send you paperwork of what is needed so that you can take that to the embassy when you're doing your visa application. Also, they'll give you like a statement of our invoice or pre-invoice of what the cost would be for the school. And my recommendation is that you want to make sure that when you take that with to your visa application for your interview at the U.S. Embassy, you have a strong financial background to show that you can pay these fees. I personally didn't have everything to cover, so blah, 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 but actually it was my cousin. I will do this on behalf of this student and willing to pay the fees and all that because this person has to be
a guarantor. Okay,
a guarantor,
so if you
correct.
can get someone to say they will take care of the fees, someone who is willing to set that bill, to foot that bill, you are all set. Okay.
Yes, and all I needed was a verification letter from that person with their address and a statement from the bank saying that, hey, this is this person's account and this is the amount in the account and that bank statement for that person. So you definitely need to have that because they do look at that. They definitely look at that if you can afford school. And the other thing is, if you are coming from Jamaica and you are coming from a school that does not have a GPA system, you want to find an online company, a reputable one. Sometimes the school will recommend one for you that can transfer. Once you send them your Jamaican school transcript, they can transfer your grades into a GPA system and send it to the school so they have something to compare with. Because, it's a grade point average system here in the States. When I was going to the University of West Indies, they did not have a GPA configuration for grades at the time.
But
that should tell you how old I am. I'm giving away my age there.
Not at all. Okay. Good stuff. I mean, that's incredible information you just shared with us because I'm sure many persons would know about that guarantor system and also how to go about getting funding and the steps they should take. And you just outlined each step. So thank you very much for that. No, just one more time. Were the classes difficult, Nikki?
It can be a little intimidating depending on the professors that you have. But what I found out that the international student community at Georgia State was very strong, very good. And it was a very nice mix, very diverse mix of students. I mean, I have friends from from Nigeria. You had people from the Caribbean as well, people who were like second generation Trinidadians, third generation Jamaicans. So it was a nice mix. I did find a little niche or a little clique of students that I have as friends and even up to this day still communicate with who are nurses and in different fields of nursing. And, it's an awesome experience. I mean, you'll find your own little niche and role once you get settled in. It is difficult, but as I said before, if you don't have support where you have friends around you that from back home here, it can be a little bit more challenging.
Understood. So what was the most difficult course, if you can remember that? I'm sure you maybe have put it far behind in your head somewhere in your subconscious somewhere.
I had a challenge with anatomy and physiology. And it was because the professor's class that I went into, he would talk and he completely get off the subject. But the good thing is that, and one thing I recommend you to do, get into the schools, to look at the website, know the little tips and tricks. And when you call customer service or anyone in the departments to talk about things about school, find those little seeds of knowledge that can help you. Because if you don't search and don't ask, you will never get it. And do not ask one person. Call again to make sure. Even go into the offices to speak to people so that they know your face. All right? And because I can tell you a little thing that happened to me. There was this one thing, being an international student, the thing is, my situation is a little bit different. I transferred over to being filed for because I got married in the States to my other half while I was in school. And he is a citizen here. And the thing is, there was a little seed of knowledge where you could actually change your fees from being an international student, which is 3 times what you pay as someone that lives and works here, that's a citizen here. So that allowed me to cut off a huge chunk off my tuition. Trust me, 3 times what you're paying compared to that. It was a very, very big blessing. And it was actually me being persistent and asking and going into the office and asking and saying, hey, is there something that I can do here? And seeking information that led me to, and there's one person I remember, this guy from Barbados. And he was the one that I talked to today, and he said, hey, you're not eligible for FAFSA financial aid here, but this is what you can do. And the reason that was because I had a degree before and I declared it, because declaring my degree from Jamaica helped me to get into school, because I did not do what the SATs or anything.
You didn't have to do SATs.
And the thing is, no, I used my degree from Jamaica to cross over, which wasn't, I thought it was, well, it did have some use, because I did economics course, I did stats, I did business law, I did politics, I did philosophy. So my base courses helped me to skip over their little their math 101 or the English 1101 and all that basic course
information, because usually they do GRE for postgrad studies, but you didn't have to do that either, did you? So just
no.
So your degree.
So once straight my degree was really helpful with the UE. It helped me, and you want to make sure that you're very good friends and you get on very well with your academic advisor. That person helped me a lot. She said, hey, okay, these are the courses you don't need to take because you already have this and this equivalence to that course from Jamaica. And she went through all of that and guided me through every semester. You want to make sure that you get into that academic advisor's office, sit with them, talk with them. Hey, this is where I'm at. Where do I need to go to complete my degree? And they will guide you into doing that. So there are a lot of resources there. It's for you to find them and to get that little information out there. And I complained to the International Student Department because no one told me that if you had a sponsor, like a parent who's living in the States for over a year, even if they have a green card, or you could actually, because once that person, it could be somebody who's your sponsor, once that person, like that parent, pays taxes in the state of Georgia for a year or two, you are able to apply for the citizens, what they used to call it, there's international students fee, and then there's in-state tuition. So you want to look at your school and see what qualifies you to pay in-state tuition, meaning that you pay what the locals would pay at that state, at that university, because Georgia State is a public university. It might be different for a private institution because it's private, but once it's in-state, you get a lot of tax breaks and lower fees and all that stuff. And I could give you a figure right now. It's like you were paying like $15,000, and when you switch over to that institution, it's like $5,000 right there.
Big chunk being chopped off right there.
It's a big difference. Yeah.
Okay, good. Information is the key, really. So, insiders, you have to do your research, as Nikki said earlier. So we're about to wrap up, but 2 more questions. Now you're a nurse. What is it like being a nurse?
I have work tomorrow, but I can say being a nurse is awesome. I can speak here in the United States. Some would say it's great because you work 3 12-hour shifts per week. Sometimes you can work 4, you can work 5, depending on what you're able to handle, But I do 3, sometimes I'll pick up 4, and it never stops. You keep learning, you keep doing your in-service, you keep doing your education. It's an ongoing process of reading and researching and looking at ways to make your work. And that's what I love. You are always changing, you're always growing in this field.
Nursing is for persons who are definitely ambitious and who want to become a complete person, really, in terms of having work and just having an adventure in their career.
Yes, because you're not going to sit down and say, oh, I'm a nurse, I'm done. No. You have to read upon policies. You have to look at changes in terms of what's happening with research and data and clinical studies. Okay, all right, we used to do this way, but based on research and studies, it's better to do this because it shows that it's better for patient outcome and cost. It's awesome. I mean, you have your challenges because you'll have your family members who are flustered, who are angry, who are overwhelmed, who are emotional, and they will sometimes vent that towards you, and sometimes you're that target. Exactly. Wow. You wear many hats in nursing. I'd say you are a psychologist, you are a social worker, you're an advocate, you're that link between the patient and the doctor. You're that clinician. It's a lot of stuff that you have to do, and you have to be there for the patient and for the family members. And you also have to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, then how are you going to take care of others?
And of course, you have to have a nice, warm, fuzzy heart also to do this, to help all these persons, right?
Yeah, you have to be compassionate. You have to put yourself in the patient's shoes and the family's shoes and say, I understand where all of this is coming from. This is not personal, but I'm the first person that they see coming in to tell them certain things. So I definitely understand why they might feel that way. And sometimes you don't even have to say anything. You let them vent. You stand there and you said, okay, are you feeling a little better? Is there anything I can get for you? Sometimes you can just be silent and wait until you get that opening to connect. Sometimes you have to find one little thing that allows you to connect to that person. I mean, I had a patient, I didn't even know he had a Caribbean background. I was started talking, I heard him listening to Bob Marley. I'm like, hey, I like reggae music. I'm from the land of reggae. And it turns out his mother is from Trinidad. His grandfather is from Jamaica. So, that common little link allowed me to have such a great relationship that I even keep in touch with them now after they've left the hospital. I check in once a time, say, hey, how are you doing? How are you? And it's great because I work at a rehab hospital for brain injured patients, and to see the progress that they make from coming in from admission to when they're leaving, allowing them to live there and lead their lives with dignity, with some form of independence. It's awesome. It's awesome to see someone who can't even walk to someone walking with assistance. It's just, trust me, there's nothing. I've cried on certain occasions. Again, I cry with people.
I can feel the passion,
and that's what I wanted. I said to myself,
that's fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Last.
Thank you. It is.
So if someone said, oh, I want to start nursing, they don't have any idea how to go about it, what would be your first advice? What would be the first thing, the thing that you'd say to do first? What would you say?
Make sure this is what you want to do. The money is good. It's great. But do not go in for the money. Make sure it's something that you love doing, because you'll burn out easily. If you don't, just like with any other thing, any other career, if you're going in just for the money, go in it for the other stuff as well. And make sure that you start with what school you want to go to. And then from there, you just research and plan. I cannot say this enough. And make sure that you plan on a timeline and have your stuff on I'm old school. Don't put anything in your phone. You don't have to put it in your phone. Get a calendar. Okay, by this date, I should have sent an email to this person. I should get a response by this week. Okay, I need to get my transcript from wherever or from my high school. How do I get this information? Seek, ask, trust me, badger, email, call, talk, email, right? In this day of technology, there's so many ways to communicate overseas. You don't have to be limited by one thing. We're on Skype right now. Find a way to call and use Skype to call the school, call the administrators, call the academic advisors. And I mean, they want good students because they're looking for great alumni as well, and for great students that can boost their rep. Just take it one day at a time. And if something doesn't happen, because I had to change my date from fall to spring. If you have a setback, it's only a setback. Keep going forward, readjust, realign, and keep moving forward.
Nikisha, thank you very much for all the wonderful information that you have shared today with our insiders. So thank you.
No problem, my pleasure. Awesome. Happy to be of help.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye, insiders.
That was a very informative show. I hope you guys find something useful that you can use on your journey. And remember, you can continue the conversation with us at globalinsidersgroup.com, or you can get in touch with Nikki at NIKI_DEWAR on Instagram. So that's Nikki Dewar on Instagram. Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks for listening today. I hope you are inspired. You can find more helpful and motivational material at globalinsidersgroup.com. That is, insiders with an S. You can also keep in touch at Global Insiders on Instagram. See you next time, but remember, you can be your own superhero. Bye.